A Cinderella Story. It was the mid-1960s, and I was 11 years old the day that Roger and Hammerstein's Cinderella magically transformed our old black and white Magnavox TV, igniting my romantic dreams. Mommy talked it up all day, urging me to finish my chores, bathe, and get into my jammies early. My timing was perfect. I settled on the couch, wrapped in a robe and blanket, with an aluminum foil bowl of still warm Jiffy Pop balanced on my lap. The movie began, and immediately I fell in love with Leslie Ann Warren. I had fallen in love with other screen personalities, Maurice Chevalier, Fred Astaire, Gene Kelly, certain that one day I would grow up to marry one of these men. As I got older, my sights drifted to those bad boys, Sal Mineo, James Dean. Perhaps this choice of childhood crushes foreshadowed the difficulty I would encounter finding my own true love. Leslie Ann Warren evoked a new kind of love feeling. I wanted to rescue her from that mean stepmother and those hideous stepsisters. She could come and live with me. I would share my room, my clothes, my dolls, my life. Suddenly, my life wasn't so humdrum. She could be the sister I'd never had, and together we could forget about all those nasty small people who wore her down. I imagined the Prince Charmings, who would whisk us away to blissful, happily ever after marriages. It didn't occur to me that I'd never seen a fairy tale marriage. The marriages I had seen resembled Cinderella's workaday life. Up in the morning, out on the job, work like the devil for pay, while that lucky old son ain't got nothing to do but roll around heaven all day. But if Cinderella's fairy godmother could arrange a happily ever after marriage with her Prince Charming, then maybe there was hope for me, too. I knew this story well. Mommy had read it to me countless times. But seeing it on the screen was horrifying, with the voices of the stepsisters and stepmother so cold, hollow. How could they treat her that way? How could she keep going, never complaining? Then, unexpectedly, Leslie Ann Warren did something amazing, something that altered me forever. She stopped scrubbing and washing and settled, face streaked with soot, into a chair by the fireplace. There, in a stolen moment, she sang this song. In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. Words do not fully describe the way I felt as Cinderella sang. It was as if she were telling my most intimate secrets, as if thread by thread she had disrobed me before an unsuspecting crowd, until finally I stood naked and exposed for all the ridicule. I wrapped my blanket tightly around me, afraid that my family would notice my shame. I was horrified and gratified all at once. How could Cinderella understand and betray me in one brief musical moment? How dare she sing my soul out to the world when all I wanted to do was to protect and care for her? But isn't that what we all secretly long for? Someone to pull back the curtain, to let people glimpse at the part of us that we are too afraid to reveal? How would it be if, instead of being that shy, heavy, awkward girl who never looked anyone in the eye, but knew the color of everyone's shoes, I could be a girl men go mad for, love's a game I can play with a cool and confident kind of air. Just as long as I stay in my own little corner, all alone in my own little chair. I was 50 when a new CD release brought me back to that memory. My evening Seattle commute rolled along at a snail's pace, and I passed the time listening to a public radio station that featured local jazz artists. Overworked by any standard, feeling frumpy and worn, I headed home to the incessant hum of the TV amidst the never-ending laundry, dishes, and the ever-growing stack of bills. This routine monotony was broken by the intimacy of a recorded voice. Its stark yet warm declaration, "I have to dedicate this next song to my sister." And there it was, in my own little corner, in my own little chair. I can be whatever I want to be. That song had been my secret mantra since the day I first heard Leslie Ann Warren sing it. And now, my dear friend Kelly Johnson had reinvented this song with an interpretation that set me free. Unlike the first time I heard it, I now felt validated, comforted, and even confirmed. Musical proof that others have traveled this path. And so I sing this song every day, aloud, just to remind myself that there are many places in the world where I have my own little corner and my own little chair, not as a place to hide, but as a place to shine. In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. On the wings of my fancy, I can fly anywhere, and the world will open its arms to me. I'm a young Norwegian princess or a milkmaid. I'm the greatest prima donna in Milan. I'm an heiress who has always had her silk made by her own flock of silkworms in Japan. I am a girl men go mad for. Love's a game I can play with a cool and confident kind of air. Just as long as I stay in my own little corner, all alone in my own little chair. am a girl men go mad for. Love is a game I can play with a cool and confident